This is a very common question which I receive from a lot of students of humanities background, that whether if we want to pursue an MBA program, what are the chances of the success, what are the advantages or disadvantages, the challenges and opportunities as compared to students from engineering background or maybe business or commerce background. So hi everyone, my name is Rohit Jha and I have a corporate experience of around 13 years and now I run my own career advisory firm, and through these videos I share my experiences and insights on variety of global MBA MIM programs, a lot of career opportunities, interview and resume skills, and that's the reason you should subscribe to our channel, and more importantly do press the bell icon button so that you will be notified whenever we'll upload new videos. Now, talking about this video, what I have done is I've categorized this video into three major elements, three major aspects for humanities students. So we are going to talk about the pre-MBA challenges and opportunities, then we'll talk about during MBA challenges and opportunities, and same we'll do for post-MBA for humanities students and arts background students. So let's start this with the first and the pre-MBA challenge. Now, if you talk about the pre-MBA challenge, which is the selection process, and if you compare the Indian schools as well as the global schools, there's a big difference in the selection process. So let me just talk about the Indian schools first. So in case of an Indian school, the major exams such as CAT. So if you give CAT, so there are a couple of challenges you might face. For example, number one is the maths section or maths, data interpretation, logical reasoning, basically combining with the numbers and the analytical side of the exam. Now, if you are from humanities, so I'm assuming that for almost 5 to 6 years you will be out of touch for maths. Now here there are two scenarios. If you were good in maths till class 10th, then definitely you can still pick up very quickly. Maybe you practice for a month, then you brush up your skills and you can be at par as compared to any other student. But let's say if you're not really that great in maths up to class 10th, then there will be a slight challenge for you to actually prepare for these exams, because in India the competition is brutal. So you really need to get into the higher zone of that percentile to get the call from IIMs or any other top schools. So in that regard, I'm saying it will become a bit of challenge for you. But it's not impossible for you to prepare, because it's up to class 10th only, and with, of course, with little practice on the data interpretation and the analytical side, you can prepare for CAT as well. But again, you will take more time, or I would say the more expected time would be more as compared to an engineer or maybe someone who has a maths background in the last 4 or 5 years. It's just because you are out of touch, but that doesn't mean you cannot do it. Maybe if someone is taking 4 months, then you might take 6 months or 7 months. So you can plan your career accordingly and plan for your exam accordingly. Now, so this is about the maths part. Now the English or the verbal part, I think you are on the level playing field, more or less. It's same for everyone. There is no disadvantage for you as a humanities student. Maybe I would say, this is a very general statement though, that you might get an advantage. Most of the humanities students which I have seen, they're very good in English, so the verbal part is in fact better for them. So, but again, this is not there is no statistical inference for this statement. So this is about the exam. So here is a little challenge for you now in the examination process. Now, if you talk about the other part of the whole MBA selection process, which is your the academic background, so you are very much at par with other students. The marks you have already scored in class 10th, 12th and your bachelor's, you will get some percentage or some weightage for each score that you have done in the past. Then again, next comes your interview process. If you get a call, then it depends on your written ability test, and then it depends on your group discussion and depends on your personal interview. Now at all these stages, there is no disparity based on the background what you have. The only challenge which you face, which I talked about, is the exam part. So if you can overcome that challenge, then definitely you are as good as any other student, so irrespective of the background. In fact, I'll tell you one important thing here. This is also not written anywhere, but if you are from a humanities background, now you will get an advantage of diversity in some cases, because what I have seen, the trend in the last few years, even top schools such as IIMs, now they are also trying to mix the profiles. Now earlier, 10 years before, the case was in an IIM batch, there must be around 70 to 80% engineers, or even more than that, 85%. But now the percentage is going down, and they are also intentionally looking for young and bright talent from different backgrounds, and especially humanities and other backgrounds. So you might get an advantage here. So this is about the pre-MBA challenge that you might face. Now, if you get an admit, let's say in the top school or maybe in tier 2, tier 3 schools, now that is the most important part of your life during MBA. So what are the challenges that you're going to face during MBA? This is the most important part, and you should overcome those challenges. Try to overcome those challenges, because that will decide your future in the next 5 years. So during MBA, the first year is very crucial. So for example, in the first year, what you are going to face is a lot of challenging courses. For example, quantitative courses, operations management, financial management, accounting. Now these are the courses where you will definitely face a big time challenge. Now you really have to work hard in first 2 semesters to get good grades specifically in these 2 courses. Now when I say these courses are tough, you can definitely compensate your grades with the help of other courses. But again, these courses are very, very important to build your basics of business as well as the fundamentals of any organization. So in that sense, you will have a little bit of disadvantage over, let's say, a commerce graduate or a business graduate and then the engineering. So you will be at a little bit of disadvantages. But now, having said that, a disadvantage, which means there is a scope of working hard and getting up to the mark. Now when I say working hard, because MBA is a general degree, so here nobody is expecting you to become an expert in finance or expert in any category. So you really need to study at the layers and just understand the business functions. So in financial management or accounting also, you don't have to deep dive, you just understand in terms of the businesses. So if you do a little bit of hard work, definitely I'm not saying you will get an A in all those courses, but still you can manage a B or a B plus maybe during your MBA program, because the first year GPA is very important for the Indian schools, because in the internship or later on the placement processes, this will definitely be an important factor. So here this is a bit of challenge for humanities students for the first 2 semesters. But again, you already know that this is going to be a challenge. So what I will recommend, whenever you get an final admit for the MBA program, so what you can do is you can start studying specifically for these 2-3 courses. So that will give you a heads up even before you join the program, so that you can overcome this challenge, because this is very important, and be focused on this particular aspect. So this is one part of the journey. Now if you talk about the second year, where of course that becomes more important, because you have to pick up a specialization. Now for humanities students, if you are picking up a specialization, definitely I will recommend not to go into extreme specializations like finance or operations or IT, where you do not have any background, or you're not even comfortable, you don't know anything in that. Definitely if you are like very passionate or 200% sure that I want to do finance in life, you can do that. I'm not discouraging you to do that, but it will not make a logical sense for you to do that, though people definitely go for such programs. But in future, then you have to equip yourself with some other degrees as well, like CFA or maybe some financial certification, so that your profile should look strong, because you will be competing against top chartered accountants, CFAs or other financial degree holders along with the MBA finance. So in that sense, you have to work hard. But my recommendation would be go for programs which are very much aligned or general. For example, you can go for a general management degree, you can go for marketing, human resource, public policy, sustainability, even research. Research is not a specialization, but you can get into consulting, some parts of consulting, not exactly iBanking or maybe some other where the core finance is required. So you can get into some parts of consulting as well. So these are the specializations which I would recommend you to target and make your career accordingly, so that post MBA your life will be easy. So that's it about the during MBA challenges. Now if you talk about the post MBA plans or post MBA challenges or opportunities, so in that sense, I would say that if you have done the right choices during the MBA programs, during the MBA in terms of choosing a specialization and building your core fundamentals of business, understanding the financial part of the business, then definitely your post MBA journey would be very smooth. Secondly, it also depends in India, depends a lot on the placement process, the tier of your school, whether you're a top school or 2, 3, 4, which tier you are in. So that depends, because if you get a good placement, if you are from a top school, you will definitely get a good placement in whatever field you do, whether marketing, HR or anything else. So in that sense, your post MBA journey would be better. Another element which most of the students, they ask me that, in terms of packages or the monetary compensation, generally they see the financial services or technology and consulting, they are the top recruiters, and they are the top, they get the top compensation as well. But what I would recommend to you, that don't just see the compensation part and just run for such specializations or courses. You will obviously, let's say you might get less compensation from them, but you are getting into a desired field. So in the next few years, if you do well in your corporate career, you are going to do great, and you might earn more money than as compared to any financial services graduate or a consultant. So don't see, because this is again a very common perception which I see from students, and they jump onto specialization based on completely on the packages. So just don't do that, and specifically for humanities. So this is one thing you should always keep in mind while choosing a specialization. All these things during MBA will help you to make your life better post MBA. So this is about all the challenges and the opportunities what we have seen for humanities graduate. See, ultimately at the end, what I would say is it's all about the right alignment. If you're going for an MBA degree, it's a general program. Nobody is expecting you to become an expert in something that you will become after working for a few years. But to reach there, if your alignment is not proper, definitely you have a lot of struggle in your career, and you will feel a lot of crisis after 5 or 10 years maybe. So better to plan during your MBA and make your post MBA journey very smooth, and a smooth transition will happen. So that's it for this video, and in case if you need any help or any guidance on this, you can always connect with me or with my team. So, and do like, share and comment. In the meantime, do take care, and bye bye.